Hello, Namaste, and welcome to Agile Exploration Hub. I am your host, Nagesh. So, we are bringing another episode. So, welcome back to this new episode of Agile Exploration Hub, where we are going to explore how people, technology, and the purpose intersects. In today's episode, in is very close to the heart, and the episode is Humanity in the Loop, the heart of Agile in the age of AI. So, as we all aware, AI is there right now. It's not a future. It's we are living in AI world right now, and there are a lot of tools, technology coming up, a lot of organization adopting AI. So, with this is someone who is already been on a couple of Agile Exploration episode. In this episode, we are also going to mm, involve or include Jaspal. So, Jaspal is a seasoned Agile transformation expert, a brain-based coach, and a mindfulness champion. Jaspal brings a rare blend of agility, empathy, and reflection into everything he does. So let's welcome Jaspal.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nagesh. And it's a joy to be here and always a pleasure connecting with you and obviously with our friends here on the channel. And of course, people listening in, watching all your wonderful episodes. Yeah. This episode, as you mentioned, is
Mm,
quite special and very close to our hearts, right?
right.
Most of us, I would say. So, uh, and as you said, AI is not future, but it's already here. So, the pace of change because of all this, because of we living in the VUCA world,
Mm,
it's dizzying. And one thing that hasn't changed is the importance of staying deeply human, right?
right.
Especially when we are working with machines, machine learning and artificial intelligence and so forth, right?
Bots and etc. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm,
And Agile always has been centered around people, right? Uh, so as AI enters our workflows through various directions or from across various directions, the need to keep humanity in the loop is more important than ever, right? So,
yes. So to my audience, watch this episode till the end. If you enjoy the discussion, add in the comment which AI tool you are currently using. Add it in the comment. And Jaspal was a speaker with us earlier also. So his talk on mindfulness, you can watch his video. I will add it in the information box, the video link. And let's get on with this today's episode, Jaspal.
sure.
So let's not spend much time and let's go back to basic. The Agile Manifesto got diluted right now.
So in Nagesh, I mean, before I really jump into this,
Hmm.
I would want to even call out the revisiting Agile Manifesto episode that we did.
Yes, yes, yes.
There was Meghna and Vikas and a few of our other friends.
So Roj was there.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I
uh,
mean, it was a wonderful
mm.
episode which went on, and we all felt that conversation should not stop. But I think even you
Mm.
may want to refer to that in the comments section or
Yes.
whatever in the
Yeah.
description section. I think people would find value in that as well, right? So now coming back to the point where you think the essence has gotten diluted about those individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So in many places, yes, agile has sometimes become mechanized. It's more of checklists, tools, dashboards, claiming velocity and whatnot. But the soul of agile as we all know, is human collaboration.
Right.
And ironically, with AI doing more of the thinking, the emotional, intuitive, and relational parts of being human matter even more. And I strongly would want to put this across. They really matter more. So I don't think we are going to go away. But like I said, even in the revisiting Agile Manifesto episode that we had done,
Right.
it's it's time for us to really revisit those four
Okay.
core values and bring in the soul of Agile back into the workplace. Yeah,
Okay. So it's not about resisting it, AI. It's all about complementing it, right?
absolutely. I mean,
Mm.
you may not or cannot or you must not because, say, for example, uh, yesterday, when I say yesterday, it's say 50 years, 100 years ago, whatever that time frame, we had different modes of transport. Say, for
Right.
example, we had bullock carts, horse carts, and all.
All thoughts.
Then came the autos and taxis and whatnot. Consider, those horsemen and bullock cart men, they moved from being manual to a mechanized way of transporting people, didn't they? So there was a transition that they had to do, right? So there was
Right.
a certain transformation that they had to do in themselves, like they had to learn new skills, adopt new ways of working, and so forth. So I would say let AI optimize. Let humans empathize. AI can draft a user story, for example, but it can be truly understood, even if, like, the pain points could be here and there, or they are, uh, to a point where unless someone listens first, kind of a situation, right? So Agile gives us that space to reflect, adapt, and connect. And weaving through the story, I don't think, you know, we must look at resisting AI, but we should befriend it, right?
Absolutely. Yes, that's true. And then, so let's make this real. So, what does it look like to keep humanity in the loop? Because we are discussing about humanity. So, how to make it real?
Hmm. I mean, that's a very good question because, just as we talk about the trends or
Mm.
the fads, so to say, AI and whatnot, it becomes more inevitable, right? The question. So it looks like this to me, at least, asking why
Asking. Yeah.
before asking how fast, for example, right? Listening deeply to your team members, perhaps in your daily stand ups, in retrospectives, wherever, in one to ones, prioritizing psychological safety,
Mm.
when tools, especially if you use them to decision making, right? So why don't you want to prioritize psychological safety in those cases? You must, right?
Yes.
Balancing efficiency with ethics. Just because AI can automate something doesn't mean it should. We must really look at the you know pros and cons, look at the balancing act, and so forth. So it also means, choosing curiosity over control. Don't just go berserk, right? Don't just go with the mechanics of it, right?
Mhm.
So when we ask questions like, what are we not seeing? Or how might this impact the end user emotionally? We are keeping human heartbeat alive in the work, right? And in
Right.
our culture around. Yeah.
So this is very profound. So now reflect.
Yes, and I think that reflective pause is often there where
Mm.
true agility begins. Huh?
Yeah, right,
Because again, connecting the dots to reflect is to be human. Period.
right. Inspect and adopt.
Exactly. Exactly. And agile is all about feedback loops as well, right?
Right,
So,
great. And then, so now let's talk about more AI. You know,
mhm,
so what are the practical ways that AI teams can use AI while
mhm.
still so we are again working with machines.
Mhm.
So individuals and interactions may go away. So how can we this achieve? How can we achieve this?
Yeah, another interesting question, I would say. So, to my mind, I can think of a few things or few cases where I personally have seen this working well, especially if you look at retrospectives, right?
Right.
Use AI to summarize the sentiment trends, but let humans guide the conversation. Like you can generate, say, for example, what's working well, what should stop, what should start, what should continue, etc. But let humans guide that conversation, right? You cannot really replace human conversation by using a chatbot,
Right.
simply put. Second thing you could do is like during your sprint plannings, AI can suggest or may suggest timelines, estimates, um, something around defect triage, etc. But but when it comes to the final call, it comes from team dialogue.
Mm.
You know, say for example, I come up with something using a chatbot or using say an AI engine. Ultimately, I would have to put across those thoughts with or across the team, right?
Right.
And that's where the other team members may come up with their own thoughts. So a team dialogue is really essential, even if you're using AI
Mm.
to, doing those kind of estimates or effect triage or something else during your sprint planning. Then again, there's user research, right?
Mm.
AI can cluster data, feedback, but then when you look at empathy maps, interviews still matter. You really want to talk to the actual user or
Mm.
actual consumer, etc. So just as they say, stories connect, not just the stats. So you just don't need the numbers, right? You need stories, and stories can be exchanged only with human connect. Really well, I would say. The point is, I mean, use AI to support your practice. I would definitely say don't run away from it or don't away from it.
Right.
There's no point, but don't replace it. Uh, I mean, don't let it replace your presence, rather. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. So awareness is important here. Awareness is required that it should not get replaced. It should not replace the your first of all people, then the collaboration. That awareness should be there.
exactly. I mean,
Mm.
AI might predict velocity, but only you and I, that is, only humans can spot burnout, team
Right.
tension, or a loss of joy, or
Right.
there's a mismatch in collaboration, communication.
Absolutely.
Only we can spot
Right.
it during runtime or while working, right? And
Right.
that's where leadership, especially servant leadership, comes in. That's where this whole concept of humanity kicks in, right?
Right. So,
Yeah.
for example, I'll touch base on your retrospective point. So, in the
Mhm.
retrospective, you mentioned that the emotion, analysis or something that AI can do. But let's say to register required some input. in form of a text or something. But what if a text has been not been input? Okay, there as a human we can pitch in and understand the emotion of that individual, uh, or that individual is not really mm, uh, writing it down, the real emotions, unable to express it verbally. He or she was able to express that. So there come the human part. That humanity should be there. then
Absolutely.
only then only we will be able to understand. So AI can predict, or this person is happy, or this person is sad, or angry, hangry, whatever it may be. But a real human will understand, okay, this person is happy or not.
Absolutely. And that's where calls for more humanity, right? I mean,
So now, so in let's talk about leading with humanity in AI world.
mhm.
So how should leaders show up in this AI power world?
Yeah, okay. That's another interesting question.
Because most of the leaders or organization, I can hear the noise, uh, use AI for everything, use AI.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's an interesting point to ponder, I would say, especially with speed and the craziness catching up. Uh, Interestingly, people want value.
Right.
And while I agree, there could be things which could be done faster and you could still deliver value. But at times, it's like people are delivering the value, right? It's not completely machines who are delivering value, right? We
I
haven't
agree.
arrived at a stage where we turn everything as a manufacturing unit, right? So according to me, or rather that's my view, there are possibly three ways leaders could show up in this AI powered world. Number one, stay human, listen more than you speak, observe the tone, not just the tools, connect with your folks really at a level where they feel valued. Huh?
Hmm.
Number
Right.
two, stay curious. While you're leading, you also and expecting your teams to deliver things using AI or your teams using AI to the max potential, etc. You also learn about AI, you know, because learning would really demarcate things for you as well, like
Hmm.
what's really supposed to be machine oriented and what's supposed to be still uh, a factor which is human centric, right?
Hmm.
So that essentially means don't give up learning about your people, as simple as that. What motivates them, what scares them, what makes them come to work, especially on a Monday, right?
Hmm.
So stay curious. Last but not the least, number three, stay present. So, you know, I'm not trying to sell mindfulness here, but mindfulness isn't a buzzword.
Hmm. Right.
It's an operating system, I would say, for modern leadership. So if you practice mindfulness, it helps you develop that short span of pause when you respond to something. So your response to a stimuli definitely improves. Huh? So yeah, these are the three things I could think of any leader can practice while being in the AI powered world. Most importantly, like last but not the least, I would say, reflect regularly. You know, what we
Yeah.
don't reflect on, we end up repeating. As simple as that.
Right. Yeah. So it's a beautiful reminder. Yeah. Absolutely. So reflection is important. So reflect,
Yes.
guys. What's happening? Keep reflecting on that.
Exactly.
So moving towards the end of this episode, and to my audience, if you are still here, you are listening, uh, please add your views. what kind of reflections that you have, how your leadership is, looking at AI, and also looking at the humans in the organization, people in the organization. Add it in the comments. We would like to hear your views. So now, towards the end of this episode, I would really want to say thank you. This has been a very soulful, deeply grounding, Jaspal. And if you had to leave, our listeners with one thought, what that would be?
Uh, Many thoughts, but yeah, one thought. Uh, we may build smartest systems, but it's the human spirit that drives meaningful progress. Like I said, we
Hmm.
build systems for the people, and the systems are built by people, right? So, keeping humanity in the loop in every conversation, every sprint, every decision. That would be my key, um, you know, what you say, takeaway for the folks, and my closing remark as well.
Thanks. So thank you for sharing your heart, I will say. And this is the end of episode, today's episode. And we are working, you know, timely nudge forward, working better and living better is the essential now. So thank you once again, Jaspal. Thanks for your time. And
Thank you, Nagesh, for giving me this opportunity again to share my brain with you and share my thoughts with you, and of course, the lovely audience that we have, the lovely friends out there we have. May we all lead with clarity, create with care, and collaborate with compassion. Thank
thanks
you.
once again. Bye bye. So to my audience, if you really enjoy this episode, please subscribe, like, share it with your friends and colleagues, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.